Hello, subscribers and new people. So here we go. We're in Santa Monica, and a friend of mine has asked me to fly up over along the coast and find the house that is built from an old 747. So I'll tell you the story about that along the way, and then hopefully we find the house that's built from a 747. I have some custom scenery here for Santa Monica, makes the place look very, very different. I will definitely attach a link to that in the description of this video, and you'll see more of the scenery. I don't want to spend too much time flying around there right now, so we'll jump into the airplane, we'll get everything ready, we'll get everything set up. Oh, I forgot to open up this here. So right alt button and a mouse click, and then I can move that over here to my screen. And the other one, I don't need that. Okay, so we have here, let's see. Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay. Brakes. Good. Good. That's my quick check. So our actually our avionics should be off. Starting the engine, beacon light on. There we go. Engine is running. Okay. Starter back. Taxi lights on. And I can turn this on here. And take my brakes off. And we begin our taxi. So a very long runway. We actually probably don't need to use all of it, but why not? Last one was quite jittery, so I have my task manager open here on the second screen. Everything looks okay. I'm only using like 50% of my graphics card, it says. Okay, so here we are. We can have a check. We would call the power, get our clearance, get ready to take off. So we've done all of that. And we're just going to get flying and try and make this quick enough trip up there. Go. Full power. So let's just stay in a straight line and monitor. Everything is in the green. Everything's in the green. Airspeed is alive. Rotation speed. There we go. Okay. Trim that a little bit. So there, nicely trimmed. And I guess at this stage you're familiar with this. So if this is a bit jumpy, I honestly don't know why, because here on my task manager now it says I'm using, oh, I was using 45%, now I'm using 89% of my GPU. I have my rolling cache set to 32 gigs. That's on an SSD, so that should be pretty good. Okay, we're just going to hand fly it down here towards the beach. And we'll check out the beach. So I know that there are some attractions. What do you call it? The big wheel, the Ferris wheel, something like that. There is one over here. So yeah, then we have this. You know, I wonder if Microsoft has left this area lagging, or if it's actually really like this, that they're making some giant Hollywood Studios movie, some apocalyptic thing. You never know. Strange things can happen in this neck of the woods. So these buildings here, I believe, are no, they're not Baywatch towers, they're lifeguard towers. There's the Ferris wheel, which I think is tried to turn into a building, and the rest of it looks quite mad, really, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to, there you go. We can, of course, jump out the window, and this one, look behind us. And then you can see that. Oh, that is a pretty impressive view there, isn't it? As we climb along here. Huge beach, lovely beach. The waves are not moving. I don't have them disabled or anything, but they just don't seem to move. Interesting. And that's the whole entire Los Angeles area, and probably off over there to the very, very right is Catalina Island, where we went on my first flight. Where I apologize, I did not own a high quality microphone at the time, so the audio is not amazing. But that's it. What can we do? And we did some practice coming back using the autopilot and the VORs, so that was quite interesting, I thought. So just popping out there into the drone, have a look around here. Looks pretty cool. That looks a bit weird up there, just kind of a park in the trees. But for the area and for the amount that's in it, it does look really, really fantastic. So I had to do a second retake there again because I don't know why it is, my GPU is now at like 34% here. It's tipping away without any problem. And then all of a sudden it just jumps up to 100% and the video starts to lag. Not sure why that is. But yeah, I guess it can happen. Let's anyway turn around. I came along here and stop and go traffic on occasion. It took me longer. I thought I decided one day to drive up to San Francisco. It didn't look that far away on the map. Apparently, yeah, it took a long time to drive there. There are no real high speed autobahns. You can't just, set your car to 200 kilometers an hour and then continually go somewhere. There's a lot of stopping and slowing down, and yeah, which I guess it makes flying in the USA way more popular. Nice houses down there, definitely very nice houses down there. I came here once with my instructor, and somewhere around here, I think he told me he had an Irish student, guy who played in a band. I think it was called Snow Patrol, maybe, and he married an American actress. They have a house along here somewhere, so they pointed it out to me. But interesting thing about a lot of these houses along here, a lot of the really, really nice houses is, they all seem to be empty. The gardens are empty, the swimming pools are empty. They're not full of people and kids jumping around all the time. I guess the people who have those houses are just simply too busy to even be there, probably. Who knows? But I've flown up and down here several times and I have noticed that. So on the sim, I've turned my rolling cache on to 32 gigs, which is what was mentioned by one of the Sobo guys, is what he uses. So I said, I will use the same. Now my graphics card is running about 60, 50, 60%, which shouldn't be a problem. So maybe it's because I've flown up and down here several times now. And how low do I want to go here? That's pretty cool though. And the traffic is pretty fast actually. I'm not sure they go that fast over here. Lots of nice houses there on the beach. We can jump out here. There should be like ships or oil rigs or things out there. I don't see any. They seem to be gone. Okay. Anyway. We'll hold our altitude there, just below 500 feet. Point Hume is up here, if I pronounced that correctly. I'm not sure. The water is really nice. The waves are stagnant, though they don't actually move. Interesting to see so many surfers out here. I guess because so many people live here and because it's so warm. I've never seen very inspiring waves on the coast here, to be honest. I've seen when I travelled up and down the west coast of Ireland a constant amount of much larger waves. Of course, they also have much larger rocks and cliffs. So yeah, maybe that's the reason. But there are some surfers out there now. A lot of windsurfers too, because you do get, and kite surfers, because you just have wind and every day basically. Um, Very seldom that you have a day without wind, really, in Ireland. Yeah, that looks really nice. So I'm not sure. Did I mention already anything about the 747 house? So a friend of mine asked me. I think I may have showed him pictures once of when I went over there, and he asked me about it. So I said, "Hey, I'll try it in the simulator." I did take some pictures of it in a real airplane, but yeah, they didn't come out so well. So nothing worth showing you. Oh, it's getting a little bit bumpy here now. And the nice thing here is, yeah, we'll see if it's there in the simulator. I don't think Microsoft has handcrafted it, which is such a pity because it'd be a really cool thing. Maybe one of the scenery developers or freeware scenery developers will just model that house. It would be pretty cool because it is a really cool thing to fly over and see. And if it was handcrafted, it would be really, really nice to go around with a drone. But we'll see. I'm sure that we can definitely make it out, and we'll definitely see the shape of the 747 wings being the roof. So let's see how it goes. Yeah, that house was before. There was a different house there, I guess, and then it got burnt down. It's the downside of living up here. You have massive fires and the occasional earthquake. But you know, if you're a super rich megastar or whatever you happen to be, it's probably fine then. You know, after 10 or 15 years, you'd probably get bored of the design of your house and want a new one anyway. So keeps the architects happy. Yeah, I don't know. I'd kind of find myself, if I have one house, stick with it if it's good. That looks really nice there, doesn't it? Really fantastic. And my graphics haven't gone crazy yet. So earlier I was flying a little bit higher and a little bit closer to the road, and then for some reason my GPU just up to 100% and got stuck there. I'm not sure why, because haven't changed my settings and I'm flying in basically the same place. So that is kind of strange. I don't know why that happens. Somewhere up along here in front of us now, there's a little gap in the hills where the road goes off to our right, and I want to take that gap and then climb. So let me do that here, and I just trim up a little bit. Start a slight climb there. I've turned the autopilot off. This AP red blinking light is still annoying me. If you're watching, Microsoft and the Asobo team, maybe you can fix that in the next update, seeing as you have delayed it for another few days. I'm very excited about the next update actually, because I want to do a flight around Blarney Castle, and yeah, maybe we can go down with the drone and kiss the Blarney Stone and get the gift of the gab, and then I'll be much better at my running commentary on here. If that will work out, we'll see. There it is. That's where I want to go, in between the hills, is it? No, not yet. I think we're going to follow the road just around this little green patch of hills, and then we can turn. Or should we be going up there? I think. I think it's this way. My GP is there. My RPM, I can increase my RPM a little bit there. So the Cessna 172 is a lovely training airplane. Not terribly fast, but climbing performance kind of sucks. Especially, I learned there one day if you know, you could be on a grass strip with two people on board or have full fuel or anything like that, and it really just climbs very slowly, poorly. Compared to one of these LSA airplanes, light sport two seaters. I guess they're smaller but lighter, but they also have a smaller engine. And yeah, when you can climb at 1,000 feet per minute, or some of them even 12 or 1,300 feet per minute, it's much better than 400 or 500 feet per minute. Gives you much more confidence in the airplane. But these Cessnas are old design. Most of them that you rent will be 30, 40 years old. So what can we expect? So I believe over here now, there should be, over one of these ridges, there should be a dip going right down. Kind of like a bowl going down, and then, yeah, that's quite interesting now, because my graphics card settings seem to be fine this time around. And I didn't change any settings. I just flew over here the last time, and as I got close to this area, my GPU went to 100%. My video stopped working. So I'm monitoring it here now on the other screen, and I'm very hopeful the video will turn out well. Oh. Yeah, they have some like recording studios, ranch things up here. I guess most of these buildings are kind of auto-generated, so you don't see them exactly as they would be. And okay, let's pause her here now for a second. Pause. Good. We can jump out on our drone. There we go. We have our drone. So here on the left should be this house. Oh, there's a nice swimming pool. This house made from these 747 wings. All right. There we go, right underneath my drone. That's it. I knew I was close, but I didn't realize I was sitting right on top of it. So I was a little bit low coming over this hill, and I didn't notice it. But that's it. So this house, yeah, there was a fire, and some of the garden pieces, garden design, were apparently, so I heard, were made from material left over from the old building there. Here on my left, from the air, I thought that was like solar panels. Maybe not. Yeah, and that's it. So you can tell, if I go over this way, you might see it a little bit clearer. Microsoft, it's not rendered properly, of course. But there you go. So now you can kind of see the two wings side by side, and then on the very, very left is the tail section of the airplane, which is used as another piece of roofing. So it would be really, really cool. The building itself, of course, is not. It's not really how it is in real life. But I would love if one of these developers, or one of these wonderful people who makes this freeware scenery freeware. I've tried to make a bit once, but it just doesn't seem to be my thing. Yeah, so it's just generic kind of a house, from the ground. Oops, what have I done here? I did it a second time. But yeah, so there you go. There you go. That's for you, James. You asked me to see if I could find it, and I did. You can look it up too in Bing Maps, and you'll see much. The roof is much better. So I guess Microsoft here has interpolated Bing Maps and said, "Oh, that must be a house." So I'll try my best to stick a roof on it. Okay, there we have gone now above my airplane. So if you do want to look that up in Bing Maps, this is where these two roads join. What was the name of that road now? I forget. But look, here's the big valley, and off up that way is like Ventura and cool places like that, I think. And that's really nice. Driving down this road over here, coming down there at nighttime, and then everything just lights up in front of you in contrast with sudden patches of darkness. Is really cool, really cool. Of course, it took me much longer to drive there than I thought. Yeah, so once you come up here and reach like I guess the average height of these hills, that's where it is. It's right there. Cool. So you can find that on Bing Maps. If anybody wants, just put a comment in, and I can actually save the GPS coordinates and actually put in a link to the exact spot, if you like. You know, I've just made only a handful of videos so far and don't have a whole pile of comments on there. So I'm not sure if anybody is watching or listening or paying attention. Yeah, then that's very strange. Every time I put on active pause and then when I turn it off, I have to kind of recalibrate my airplane. And once or twice, I put on active pause and jumped out in the drone for 3 or 4 minutes and jumped back in the airplane, turned off active pause, and my speed just like went straight to zero, which was strange. Made for an interesting recovery because it's quite unusual in an airplane that you can actually stop down to 0 knots in the middle of the sky. Sure, if you were an expert in aerobatics, you probably know how to do that, but most people generally wouldn't. So in front of us we have an airport. Military, is it? It's a naval air station, yeah? Naval base. Ventura Naval Base. Oh, and here we have, if you could patch up those hills around there, this almost reminds me of a spot in Hawaii. Yeah. Up the mountains and then you can walk around a flat circle in the middle of it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. There we go. I can see the airport from here. Hopefully you guys can see it too. And it would be a very interesting challenge to land straight in from here. I'm not sure that can be done. Will we try it? Yeah, we can try it. Why not? Unless, of course, there's a lot of people trying to make a straight in approach here, and then it wouldn't be such a nice place. Be a bit noisy. Okay, I'm gonna pull my power back, and we're way high, so just see for fun how this works out. So my power is off. Okay, landing lights are on. Lights are on. Let's throw on the strobe lights as well. 105 knots, so we're high on the speed, and we're high on our approach there. So let me go here to my PFD, turn on my wind, and just see what it says. Okay, that's good. More or less straight at us. More or less. Which way will we do a slip? We're going to have to do a slip now. Okay, just make a decision, man. Make a decision. As they say, the terrible old story about the poor squirrels, huh? They meet their demise on the road because they don't make the decision of going left or right on time. So just decide. So, okay, my speed is okay. And I did put out the flaps, but I would need to check the POH as to whether or not you're allowed to slip with the flaps out. It may be that you shouldn't. So we're descending. Yeah, we're descending 1,350 feet per minute. So it's not bad slip. When we pop outside, you can see what we're doing here. Yeah, we're slipping in like this. Yeah, and of course, changing the view makes things a little bit different when you come down. So, okay, oops, which is probably why I messed that up a little bit. There we go. Sorry about that. And we're down. Yeah. Yeah, so there doesn't seem to be anybody around here. Put my flaps up again there so I increase my visibility. We can turn off the runway. Again, I do taxi very fast in the simulator, but you know, it's more fun. Except we have to slow down for these now, taxi lights. These taxi lights kind of remind me of like a ping pong table, you know. You've got to like wiggle around between them and you're probably going to hit one or two of them. Very interesting taxi light positioning. Ooh, here we go, stop. So that's it. So I hope you like that. I hope you like the next movie. I hope you have looked on the bottom right hand corner of this video for my logo, clicked it and subscribed. That'd be really great. Thank you very much. Yep. Just have a quick look around this where we are. The view on this side is actually really cool. There we go. Isn't that cool? I really like that. Okay, jump back into the plane. So we turn off all the lights except for the beacon light. We turn the avionics off and we bring our fuel back. And then this wonderfully annoying window pops up again. Okay, engine off. Okay, main switch is off. This off. Everything off. So thanks for watching and see you next time. Leave a comment below if you have any feedback. Cheers. Bye.